Hey, it's me, Z4 Beeblebrox, the British Tech Guru. Well, what are the plans for this summer? Well, I already had a couple of things thrown at me that I wasn't expecting. The first was when the door fell off my safe. I was not expecting that, and that sent me down a real interesting rabbit hole. And earlier in the year, I found some of the floor had rotted in my school bus conversion due to a leak that had happened some while ago that I'd resolved. So I spent a good time replacing the floor underneath the partition. I had to pull the partition out and replace it and whatnot. I've still got some floor left to replace, but that's in a storage compartment behind the partition. So that's going to happen, but not immediately. That sent me down another rabbit hole where I'm putting ribs on all the storage compartments and I'm putting shelves in, and of course that sent me down another rabbit hole, which was that some of the food that was in my long-term food storage was no good. So I had to replace that. I'm still in that process. It's a long job. And I'm trying to build variety into it now. And while I can get some things in nice little plastic packets like rice and beans and lentils, things like the quinoa and the flour and doesn't come in very nice packages, very friendly packages. Anyway, so that's that. I'm planning to complete the brake line replacement that has been underway since before I hurt my back. Now I hurt my back in probably 4 years ago, and it's probably got about as good as it's going to get. So yeah, I wake up every morning with a little bit of pain, and yeah, it was a work injury, and yeah, the other person involved was totally negligent. So so anyway, that's what that is. So the brake lines are going to get done. There's going to be an electric cable put in. I've got the wires, I've got the conduit, I've put most of the wire in the conduit. I just need to put that cable and conduit in place, and that will get me power to the other side of the galley. And there will be the 4 main components of my robotics lab there, or robotics workshop, which will be the mini lathe that you've seen, the mini milling machine that you've seen, the mini table saw that you've seen, and a mini drill press that I'm not quite sure what that's going to take, but there will be a mini drill press. I'm going to have to fasten those to the countertop, and at the moment I'm trying to decide how. Part of me would like to use Velcro, but I'm afraid that if I pull it up, that the tiles might come up as well. So part of me is not keen on using Velcro. I don't really want to drill through the countertop, but I think I'm probably going to have to. Then how do I fasten the screws to the countertop? Well, and that's going to have to be some kind of threaded insert, but I'm not quite sure which threaded insert or how I'm going to achieve that. So that is for the future, though. I haven't done the wiring yet, and I haven't done the brake lines yet. Another thing I want to do is the right-hand wiper pivot is not quite right. When I replaced the wiper pivot, I could not get a Carpenter wiper pivot because Carpenter went out of business 20 years ago. And they had an extremely funky wiper pivot. So I'm having to build my own wiper pivot. I didn't get it quite right the first time, but it was near enough. Now I want to get it right because the blade is at a strange angle. Then the top mounted rear view camera, I tried welding some aluminium using what a Burnzomatic, whatever they called, and it didn't get the aluminium hot enough for the aluminium welding rod to to weld it properly. So I'm probably, since I've already got a lower level backup camera, I think I might take the upper level one out, but I kind of like the fact it shows me the back door. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there. I'm not going to put solar panels on the roof. No, that is a bad idea. I have found that the paint that everybody recommends for painting old school buses with is absolutely terrible for the job. People say, "Oh, use Rust-Oleum." No, it doesn't work. Okay, use tractor paint. Well, I've heard that tractor paint doesn't work, and I can see exactly why, because it's exactly the same as Rust-Oleum. The proper paint to use, because the body is galvanized, is actually the acrylic paint. So I'll have to get some paint stripper on it, strip all that rubbish off, and the Rust-Oleum is just cracking and crumbling, and it's not good. It's not a pretty sight. So I'll have to do that and see where I'm going from there. It's really the paintwork is a minor thing. It's actually a minor major thing, because I've got to get the paint off, get all that god awful seam sealant that I put on off, and that stuff is supposed to be great, and it's absolutely appalling. And that was Dynatron caulk, that bloody useless stuff. And I'm certainly not putting that tape that the idiots on school bus groups say to use. That stuff looks terrible, and if I think it looks terrible, it is terrible. It's a terrible idea. There is some brush-on seam sealant, and somebody's used brush-on seam sealant before I bought the bus, and that seemed to work, and it seems to keep working. So I'll have to get some of that. It's the most expensive thing out there, so it better blooming well work. So yeah, and some of this isn't going to get done. Some of it is going to get done, and I know I need to do the brake lines, because I haven't driven that bus in 4, maybe 5 years. No, 4 years. It's got 4-year-old tires on it that I bought and put on for 4 years ago, and they haven't moved an inch since they were put on. I need to drive that thing. And it's got new batteries, new $600 worth of brand new batteries they put on 2 years ago. Thank goodness I put a solar maintainer on them. So yeah, so the main things I'm going to try and get done this summer are going to be the brake lines, the electric wire, and of course I'm working on shelves for the closet, for a couple of the cupboards, so that I can maximize my storage. And I'll have to go through some of the stuff that I've got stored in there, because I'm pretty sure I've got a ton of clothes in there that don't fit anymore. So yeah, we'll just have to see how it all goes. But that's the plan for this summer. How much I'll get done, I don't know. And that's probably about August. I'll get back to electronics.